This is the Tutoro chain oiler. I found this after looking at a lot of different options. Some electronics, some that took a vacuum off the engine. This one, they don't really talk about how it operates other than it works from the normal motion of the bike, but it's gravity driven. That's all it is. There's a heavy weight down in here. Of course, this is the oil in here. There's I say a weight, it's ferrous, it's iron. You can see it right there. And when you first fill this up, you're supposed to get a magnet, place it on top, and it pulls that piece of steel up and allows your oil to flow through all your tubing. That's how you prime it. But just it driving back and forth, that thing's going to shake up and down. It's got an easy adjustable knob. I usually turn it for most rides about right there. Of course, you can turn it up, it'll flow a lot more. It's supposed to get about 500 miles per fill up on there. I'd say it's about right. It holds, I don't know, 2 or 3 ounces. I've put about 1,000 miles on it so far. Getting it set up to where it was going to stay on the sprocket where I wanted it. Shush, puppy. Staying it where I wanted it on the sprocket took a little bit of time, but the rest of the routing worked out well. I just zip tied it right to my pannier racks, and you're supposed to route it down, leave some slack in here that allows for the flex of the swing arm. I drilled the hole in my chain guide here, and then when it got down in this area, it kept moving. And so I was able to find a clamp. This is actually a lighting clamp. It's supposed to go on a steel beam, and that would hold your cabling, but I was able to get some. They're like 75 cents a piece, and these have locked onto my swing arm perfectly here. I painted them black so they fit in, and they keep it in place very nicely. I've got a piece of wire on the inside of the tubing here. It's almost like solder. It's very soft. I don't know if it's tin or lead or whatever it is, but it allows you to adjust your nozzle where you want it. And so your nozzle, where it goes, it just rests against your sprocket here, and just lets out a little bit of a drip. I've wiped off my chain so it's a little cleaner than it normally is. It's usually got a little bit of black residue on there, and it's usually a lot more oily. You can see underneath, it dispenses quite a bit of oil, which it's supposed to do that. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, my chain is very well lubricated while I'm riding. You do get some backsplash. It's not getting on the surface of the tire, but it does get on the rim. You can see where it splashes up underneath the undercarriage and on some areas, but it's going to do that. It's oil. It has been a really solid product. It has worked the entire time. It hasn't used too much or used too little, and it seems to be getting over the entirety of the chain, and it saved me a ton of time and maintenance on long rides, where at the end of the day, on a 12-hour day, I'm not doing half an hour of chain maintenance. It has worked really well. I really like the product, so I highly recommend it for the price. Yeah, I think it was right at $100. It's not electronic. You're not tying into anything in the engine. It's just gravity driven. It's very simple. It works. Like I said, I've had it for about 1,000 miles, and I'm really impressed with it. So I highly recommend. Have a good one.